This will be the last video I make on the GeorgeNotFound situation, as I really don't see any of what Katie says going forward is correct, and even if it is valid and correct, I still think she lied about the whole thing and blew it out of proportions, so this will 100% be my last video on the GeorgeNotFound situation because of what I just said above. But if you somehow are not cut up in the loop at this point, I highly suggest that you watch my first two videos, because I'm going to try and give the quickest synopsis of it. Basically, CaitiBugzz came out with some accusations about SA against GeorgeNotFound. GeorgeNotFound makes a response video around 36 hours after the initial allegations came out denying them. CaitiBugzz comes out with more proof saying that she was indeed SA'd and that GeorgeNotFound is a creep, to which GeorgeNotFound made a second response, which we'll be talking about today in this video, disproving them. And honestly, he made a very good response video, and I'm actually going to break it down and give you guys my thoughts on everything. But that is everything up into this point right now. I originally wasn't going to make a response video to everything, but because CaitiBugzz did not come out with any more evidence, I'm going to go ahead and make the last video on this. And like I said before, I think she is lying, or she is like bluffing it and blowing it out of proportions like she's shown in her evidence. So now I'm going to show a couple of clips from GeorgeNotFound's stream where he talks about the situation a little bit more and how his perspective has changed on everything.
For those of you who don't know, CaitiBugzz recently did a stream and accused me of something very serious. I made a response and then she made a follow-up response. This is my response to her follow-up. Throughout this video, I'm going to be showing clips from some other people just for context. And just to make it clear, I don't want any hate to be sent to anyone, including these people. Here are the two tweets that I posted about the situation. These are now deleted as I only made them to let people know that I had intentions to make a response. And I didn't want people to think I was just completely radio silent in the time that I needed to make those responses. First of all, I just want to make it clear that my tweet that I put out after my first statement wasn't somehow admitting to guilt or completely backtracking on what I originally said. My perspective had changed due to new information that Katie had provided. So now I'm just going to go over Katie's new statement and talk about what she had to say.
I think it's good that George did make a second video, because a lot of this stuff that Katie did say here was definitely, when it came out, I was thinking in the back of my mind, like, this is some stuff that if he doesn't respond to it, it could be an admission of guilt. Now, the thing is, I do like when he says the part about not staying radio silent, because that's what Wilbur did, and I feel like both of these situations have a little bit more correlation than we might think at the face value of everything. But one of the biggest things that he needs to be careful about, and I'll play the clip later on where he says sorry, but it's already sounding like from the beginning and the get-go that he has a defeatist attitude. The thing is, I don't believe that GeorgeNotFound is in the wrong. I think there's multiple disproofs of evidence, and since CaitiBugzz is so sloppy about giving evidence herself, then it just makes it so easy. But I don't understand why he admits guilt. And I'll actually play the clip right now of where he does, like, make an apology to everything.
I'm sorry, Katie, and I'm sorry for how this will affect you going forward, and I'm sorry that everything got to this point, but I just hope that after hearing my perspective, you can understand that I never had any bad intentions and never meant to hurt you. I think that is essentially all the information that I can add to the situation. After her first statement, I actually disagreed a lot with how things were portrayed and was pretty confused by a lot of the details, but her most recent response made things a lot clearer to me, and now I do think we agree pretty much on the order of events. We just don't necessarily agree on my intentions, but again, I do really hope that her seeing this can help with that.
Apologize for what, Wilbur? I mean, not Wilbur. Apologize for what, George? I mean, I understand that saying sorry is kind of an admission of guilt here, and I understand what he means behind this. He's just trying to say, like, he's sorry for, like, everything that's kind of, like, kicked up and out of shape here. But the thing is, you gotta be careful, because the Twitter nerds and the people, the keyboard warriors on Twitter, are gonna see you saying sorry as an admission of guilt, because they only work on two brainwaves: responding to Twitter hate threads and finding people to hate on. That's literally all they do. They just work off two brainwaves. So you saying sorry there, while I understand what you were trying to say, keyboard warriors may not have. And the thing is too, you don't really have much to say sorry for, because I'm going to show another clip here in just a second, but I'm going to talk about it first. Is he was saying about how the wristband, the 21 up wristband thing, it reflects on them, bro. I'm sorry to say this, like, it doesn't reflect bad on you. I mean, sure, it isn't the best thing to look at. I mean, the PR crisis that happened as soon as she came out about that. But the thing is, these people made the conscious decision to come into the party and drink, even though they knew they were underage. in America, the legal drinking age is 21, albeit nobody follows it anymore, but I do because I try and keep good morals. But basically, these guys were 18, these girls were 18. I mean, if they chose to lie about their age and drink, and then you got and cuddled them, remember the part from a video I made like a few days ago, and I think it was part 2, I said about the 21 wristbands thing. If they were all collectively there and there was everybody at the party was above the age of 21, I could see how George would make that generalization. It was late at night. They were all out of it. They were all drunk. So I could definitely see how George could make the generalization that, oh, she's also kind of grouped into all this, so why should I care and why should it?
Thing to mention is her age. Like I said, I wasn't aware at the time that she was 18. I mentioned that they had come from an official VidCon after party, they were drunk, and I made the assumption that, knowing how these events are run, that she was probably over the age of 21, as they wouldn't have been able to drink in there otherwise. Now, they actually said that they drank somewhere else briefly before showing up, and that makes more sense. It is irresponsible of me that I made this assumption, and going forward, I will make sure to explicitly ask for a person's age. And I'm sorry, Katie, that I did not do that for you. I also brought up how when I was going back through the texts, I found a picture of one of them wearing a 21 plus age wristband. And I showed this picture. Now, this is from a group chat that I wasn't in, but Dream showed me this when I was making my video, and I figured it was relevant to why I was under the impression she wasn't 18.
George, this makes you sound so guilty, and I know you're trying not to be guilty here, because I know you're not, but you need to stop acting like these people are innocent, and they've done nothing wrong in the situation, and you're the only one that has done some form of wrong, because you're not. Well, you probably haven't done barely anything. I mean, as long as you didn't provide alcohol to a minor, which we're pretty sure we haven't at this point. I think it's very well covered at this point, but these people tricked you, and they tricked you around about their age. Now, I did see the tweet where, you know, CaitiBugzz tried to disprove that the band was fake, but I don't think the band is fake, because the thing is, I could see how having an over 21 band, especially at VidCon after parties, might make sense, because, you know, if they're drinking and stuff, then, you know, she wants to have one of those so she herself can drink. And I think, to be quite frankly honest here, she probably got one of those. Like she said, she was with her friends and she only went into the party temporarily the first night. She probably had that 21 plus band from that party where she went in, kept it for another night, had it on, and if she had that 21 wristband on, then George got tricked. That's all I know how to say. Because here's the thing, you intentionally lied about your age just so you could be with a bigger YouTuber. That's not on him. If he got tricked, legally, if he got tricked, then he can't be held guilty in a court of law. That's just plain and simple, you can't. Secondly, if he got tricked, he wouldn't be improbable for providing alcohol to a minor. Technically, it's not a minor because she's 18, but someone under the age of 21, you know what I mean. And third, you've got nothing to admit. I mean, dude, you can't act, because like later on, I've watched the entire video already. He acts like he's about to cry during the whole video, and I don't know why, because if you're innocent, I mean, you shouldn't feel the need to cry, right? Right? I'm just confused on that.
I'm not trying to nitpick anything here. I just really think it's important to make sure that everyone has the full picture of the whole event as it happened, so that people can accurately form their own opinion. Anyway, the next thing that she talks about is the cuddling. She said, and this is a quote, "A lot of the touch was initiated by him, probably not realizing it. A lot of the cuddling he may have felt was personal, but it was just me being drunk. I do think a lot of the cuddling was initiated by me, but some of it wasn't. I was also drunk, but my impression at the time was that it was very mutual." She also says that, quote, "I didn't know cuddling was an invitation." I don't think just cuddling is an invitation for anything. I only brought the cuddling up because it's something that she didn't mention at all in her original stream.
We sat on the couch and the older guy sat right next to me while playing. It was a little after that when I resorted to playing games on my phone when it happened.
And again, it's something that I think people need to know about to understand my perspective.
I think that's a good point by George that was brought up there about the cuddling. I've said this before already, but CaitiBugzz did not originally mention the cuddling. She made it sound like he was like straight up, all right, I stuck my hand in there and I did something without even like just asking. It's like, okay, here we go, we're going in. But when he explained that and he made it out, it helped it, like, you know, sound better from his perspective. But one of the worst things that comes out of everything here, not even just going in any further in evidence, is this. feel like now that we've had a week to sit on it, was an attempt to ruin GeorgeNotFound's career. I really think that it was an attempt by Kaiti to blow everything out of proportions and try and get bad press. And the thing is too, even though George proved his side, you're still gonna have the Twitter idiots. Yes, it's Twitter, X idiots, whatever. X idiots. You're still gonna have those people that are gonna be like, okay, so he did this. It doesn't matter, just cancel him or get him gone, and it's losing a viewer base here. And I don't know what George does anymore. I don't think he's uploaded in over a year, so it's been a minute. But you still have that taint on your career that this person did it, and there's now people that will irreversibly take the woman's side here, and they won't look back. They'll just be like, well, George did this, he can't be trusted anymore, and they won't even look at the responses. That's just the average Twitter. But yeah, guys, I really want to know your guys' thoughts down below. This is the absolute last video I make on this because I'm ready to be done with this drama. It's gone on for way too long. 5 uploads is enough on this drama. I'm done with it. This drama is now stupid, and yeah, literally, that's it. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.